My beloved soul, have you ever wondered why the heavens sometimes seem too quiet? You call out, you lift your prayers, you pour out your heart to me, and in return you seem to find only the echo of your own voice. This feeling of emptiness, this idea that I'm distant or uncaring, I know it has weighed heavily on you. You look at your life, at the battles you face alone, at the nights when uncertainty is your only company, and a painful question rises in your spirit. Where is God? Today I've come to break this silence. I've come so you can feel, once and for all, that my absence is an illusion created by circumstances and fears. I never left you, not for a single moment. Every breath you've taken, every tear that has streamed down your face, every step you've made, even the most hesitant ones, all were closely watched by my loving, caring eyes. What you see as silence, I call preparation. What you feel as distance, I call strengthening. There's a higher purpose in every season of your life, especially in those that seem most barren and lonely. What I'm about to show you can change your life, for I want you to understand the reasons behind the times you felt my absence most acutely. I want you to see with spiritual eyes what your physical eyes couldn't. You are not an orphan of my grace. You are my beloved daughter, and my presence is as real and constant as the air you breathe. I know words might seem insufficient for what you've been feeling. That's why this isn't just a message. It's a meeting, a connection between your heart and mine. I'm here to heal this wound of abandonment, to fill every empty space with the unwavering certainty of my love. You aren't reading these words by chance. I orchestrated this moment so that the truth of my care for you would definitively penetrate your soul. The doubts that have tormented you for so long are about to vanish like morning mist before the sun. Allow yourself to receive this truth. Open every fiber of your being to feel my embrace, which transcends time and space. I see the strong woman you've become, the resilience you've shown even when you thought of giving up. I saw you get up after every fall, wipe your tears, and keep going, even without feeling my hand holding yours. But I was there. I was the unexplained strength that propelled you, the sudden peace that calmed you in the middle of the storm, the unexpected idea that brought a solution. You were never alone. Before we continue this message, write this word of faith in the comments. God is with me every step of the way. Feel the power of this affirmation as you type it, for it is a seed of truth beginning to sprout in your spirit, dislodging the weed of doubt. Now, let's continue this message. I want you to understand that periods of apparent silence were, in reality, periods of intense work from me in your life. Imagine a farmer planting a precious seed. He places it under the earth, in the dark, in silence. To the seed, it might seem like abandonment, but on the surface, the farmer is tending the soil, ensuring water, protecting it from pests. He isn't talking to the seed, but all his work is for its benefit. That's what I've been doing with you. In the quiet, I was removing obstacles from your future, preparing the right people to enter your life, arranging circumstances for the blessings you asked me for. My silence was never an absence of activity. It was an absence of noise, so that the deepest work could be done. You were being strengthened, your roots of faith were growing deeper, searching for nourishment. A tree with deep roots doesn't fear the storm, and I was preparing you to be unshakable. So, breathe easy, my daughter. The Father never left home. I've always been here. And now I'll show you how to recognize the signs of my presence that you might have missed. But that's not all. There's something even deeper I've arranged for you to understand about the nature of my care. My precious soul, let's delve deeper into understanding my apparent silence. I want you to see it not as emptiness, but as a sacred space. Have you ever watched a master artisan working on a valuable piece of art? He concentrates, dedicates time, and there are moments of intense silence as he executes the most delicate details. This silence isn't neglect, but the deepest expression of care and attention. That's how I work in you. The moments when I seem most quiet are when I'm performing the most complex and transformative work in your soul. I was teaching you to hear a more subtle voice, the voice of your own intuition, which mirrors my spirit within you. If I always answered with thunder and grand signs, you'd get used to depending on outward spectacle and wouldn't develop your inner spiritual sensitivity. I was training your spiritual ears, I wanted you to learn to find me, not just on the mountaintops of exaltation, but also in the valleys of quietness. I wanted your faith not to be based only on what you see or hear externally, but on the deep, unwavering conviction that comes from within, in the certainty that I am, even when everything around seems to say otherwise. Think of a child learning to walk. A loving parent holds their hands at first, but there comes a point when they need to let go, even for a few moments, so the child can find their own balance and develop strength in their legs. He doesn't go far. His eyes are fixed on them, his arms ready to catch them if they stumble. He's silent, watching, cheering, trusting in their potential. That's how I've been with you. There were moments when I removed the training wheels from your faith, not so you'd fall and get hurt, but so you'd discover the strength I had already placed within you. Every time you got up on your own, your confidence grew. Every time you made a decision based on that small spark of faith, even without hearing my audible voice, you were becoming the strong, determined woman I created you to be. There's something very important I want you to grasp now. Your trust in me, cultivated in silence, is the sweetest fragrance that rises to my throne. It's pure faith, faith that doesn't need to see to believe, faith that says, even if I don't feel him, I know he's here. Even if I don't hear him, I know he's at work. That's the faith that moves mountains, the faith that activates my miracles. I would never test you beyond your limits. In every challenge you faced, I had already placed within you the ability to overcome it. The silence was an invitation for you to access that inner strength, to look within and find me, who dwells in you. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, I trust the Lord. By doing so, you're declaring your commitment to me today. You strengthen your faith and share hope with those who also need to feel my presence, a cry that joins thousands of others. If this message touched your heart and you wish to support this mission, click thanks and help spread words of light, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Moving on, silence also served another purpose: to protect you. Sometimes you asked me for things that at that moment weren't best for you. You asked for an open door that would lead you down a difficult path. You asked for someone to stay who would hurt your heart. My silence in those cases was a loving answer. It was a protective no, a wise wait. I see the whole picture, the entire tapestry of your life. You, however, only see the thread in your hands today. Trusting me means believing that even when I don't give you what you want, I'm always giving you what you need. And what you need most is my presence, even if it's quiet. So shift your perspective today. When stillness comes, don't fear it. Don't see it as abandonment. Embrace it as a time for growth, for deeper connection, for intimacy. Speak to me in the quiet. Tell me, Father, I'm not hearing your voice, but I choose to trust your work. Show me what you want to teach me in this season. And then just listen with your heart. You'll be amazed by the clarity you discover. Are you ready to see how I've been leaving breadcrumbs, signs of my love all along your path, even in the driest times? My blessed soul, if my quiet times were periods of deep work, your life is full of proof of my constant care. I want to open your eyes now so you can see the trail of love I've left behind, the undeniable evidence that I was never far. You've gotten used to looking for me in grand miracles, in spectacular events, and I certainly work that way. But my favorite way to care for you is in the details, in the small, everyday provisions, in the gentle promptings of love I send through events you often call coincidences. Do you remember that time an inexplicable feeling made you change your route, and later you learned you avoided a big problem? That was me guiding your steps. And that kind word that came exactly when you needed it most, from someone who didn't know your struggle, that was me, using human lips to deliver my message. Think of that financial hardship when, from an unexpected source, the exact amount you needed appeared. I was there, your faithful provider, and the strength you found to forgive someone who hurt you deeply. A strength that didn't seem to come from you? That was my grace working in your heart. Your life is a mosaic of deliverances, provisions, and care that you often didn't connect to me. The dangers I saved you from that you never even knew existed. The doors I closed to protect you from paths that would lead you away from your purpose. The people I removed from your life because their hearts weren't pure toward you. All this time, I've been acting as a silent guardian, an invisible protector. I, your God, am sending you a special sign. The sign you've been waiting for is in this verse, Psalm 139:5, which says, "You hem me in, behind and before, and lay your hand upon me." Reflect on this powerful truth. You are completely surrounded by my care. There's nowhere to escape my protective presence. My hand is on you, not to weigh you down, but to bless, guide, and protect you. Write in the comments, "I receive this message and am blessed," and send love and protection to someone you care about, declaring they are also under my care. If this message resonated with you, show your support with a thanks a bunch and help spread this message of light to others who need it. Before you go on, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. That way, you'll get more messages of light and inspiration sent straight to your heart. It's a step of faith that keeps you connected to this source of strength. Now, back to the message. I want you to start a spiritual exercise today. At the end of each day, set aside a moment to look for my fingerprints. Ask yourself, where did I see God's hand in my day today? It might have been in a grandchild's smile, the beauty of a sunset that calmed your soul, good news you received, recovery from an illness, or simply the peace you felt for a few moments. By practicing gratitude for these small expressions of my love, you'll train your eyes to see me everywhere. Your perception will change radically. The world that seemed gray and hostile will become a place full of color and signs of my care. You'll stop focusing on what's missing and start celebrating the abundance of what you already have. The feeling of abandonment can't survive in a grateful heart. It's overcome by the joy of recognizing my constant presence. I am not a God who hides. I make myself known continually. The problem is that often you're looking for the wrong kind of sign, in the wrong place at the wrong time. I am in your daily bread, in the water that quenches your thirst, in a supportive friend, in the wisdom that appears at a moment of decision. Open your spiritual eyes, my daughter. See the legacy of love I've built throughout your story. Every victory, every triumph, every joyful moment, all had my involvement. And even in the tough times, I was there, turning what was meant to be a tragedy into a testament of strength. You are living proof of my sustaining power. Your existence is a letter written by me, speaking of my faithfulness. What you've experienced so far is just the introduction. Now that your eyes are opening to my constant presence, you're ready to understand the deepest root of this feeling of abandonment and heal it once and for all. My beloved soul, for the healing of abandonment to be complete and lasting, we need to get to the root. Often, the feeling that I've abandoned you doesn't just come from your current circumstances, but it's an echo of old wounds, of human abandonments that deeply scarred your heart. Think about your past, perhaps the absence of a father or mother, maybe the betrayal by a friend you fully trusted, perhaps a relationship that ended abruptly, leaving a void and a feeling of rejection. These experiences, my daughter, create a filter through which you view the world and even me. When someone you trusted left you, a lie settled in your subconscious. I'm not good enough for them to stay. People always leave me. I'm not worthy of constant love. And then, when you face a difficulty and don't feel my presence immediately and tangibly, that old wound gets triggered. The lie whispers in your ear, "See, even God abandoned you." It's always the same story. You project onto me, your perfect Heavenly Father, the flaws and limitations of imperfect humans. I want you to understand, with the full clarity of my truth, that I am not like humans that I should lie, nor like mortals that I should change my mind. My love isn't conditional. My presence doesn't depend on your performance or your deserving it. I love you because you are mine. Period. My love for you is an eternal decision, an unchangeable fact of the universe. To break this cycle of pain, to uproot this rejection, there's a powerful, liberating step I invite you to take today: forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key that frees not the offender, but you. As long as you hold on to resentment for the abandonment you experienced, you remain chained to that person and that event. A lack of forgiveness keeps the wound open, always ready to fester and distort your view of reality. To forgive doesn't mean saying what they did was right. It doesn't mean you have to restore the relationship or trust that person again. It simply means you decide to release the debt. You hand over to me your right to demand payment, to judge, and to seek revenge. You give me the pain, the anger, the resentment, and allow me, the righteous judge, to handle the situation. It's an act of faith where you trust that my justice is greater and more effective than your bitterness. This act of release creates an empty space in your heart. And it's in that place that I can pour out my healing, my love, my peace. It's there that the truth of your unconditional love can truly take hold. In the comments, list the people you want to forgive, including yourself. Picture each one, send them love and say, I forgive you and set you free. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Do this every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. And yes, I said to include yourself. Often you're your harshest critic. You blame yourself for past mistakes, for missing signs, for trusting the wrong people. You abandon yourself by treating yourself with such severity and criticism. Today, I free you from that self-condemnation. Accept my complete and absolute forgiveness and extend that same grace to yourself. Look at the woman you were with compassion. She did the best she could with the understanding she had. Forgive her. Set her free. By doing this, you're untying the core knot that held you to feelings of abandonment. You're declaring that your worth isn't defined by who stayed or who left, but by the eternal truth that you are my beloved child, and I will never, under any circumstances, leave or forsake you. This is the truth that heals, restores, and makes you whole. From this healing, a new identity will begin to surface, the identity of who you truly are in my eyes. My precious soul, once the wounds of abandonment start to heal through forgiveness, it's time to rebuild your identity on the only foundation that can never be shaken, my truth about who you are. For too long, you've let others' opinions, past failures, and the enemy's lies define your worth. You saw yourself as the one who was left, the one who isn't enough, the one always falling behind. Today, I tear up those false labels and burn them in the fire of my love. I want you to start seeing yourself as I see you. When I look at you, I don't see your flaws or mistakes. I see my masterpiece. I see the woman I dreamed of and designed with my own hands even before the world was made. Every detail of you, from the color of your eyes to the strength of your spirit, was planned by me with a purpose and immeasurable love. You are not an accident. You are not a lost cause. You are a treasure, a priceless gem in my kingdom. I call you my child. Think about the depth of that word. It doesn't just mean I created you. It means you belong to my family. You have inheritance rights. You have direct access to my presence and my resources. It means my name is upon you. My protection surrounds you, and my love sustains you. Being my child is your true and unchanging identity. Nothing you do or don't do can alter that. No one can take that title from you. I call you beloved. This isn't a love based on your actions. It's a love that comes from my very nature, which is love. I love you on your good days and your bad days. I love you when you get it right and when you mess up. My love for you doesn't grow or shrink. It simply is, constant, eternal, and unconditional. Let this truth wash away all insecurities and fears of rejection. You are fully and completely loved right now, exactly as you are. I call you chosen. Before you chose me, I had already chosen you. I chose you for a unique and special purpose that only you can fulfill. The experiences you've had, even the toughest ones, were allowed by me to equip you for this mission. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are an agent of my kingdom, commissioned by me to bring my light and my love to the world around you. Your life has deep meaning and an eternal purpose. I call you victorious. The enemy of your soul wants you to see yourself as defeated, focusing on the battles you've lost. But I declare that in me, you are more than a conqueror. The ultimate victory has already been won. The challenges you face now are temporary, and I've already given you the authority and power to overcome them. You don't fight for victory, you fight from victory. Your identity isn't in the process of the struggle, but in the outcome I've guaranteed. I want you to start living from this new identity. When you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say aloud, I am a child of God. I am loved, I am chosen, I am victorious. Repeat these truths until they sink from your mind into your heart and become your new reality. When the voice of doubt or self-criticism arises, confront it immediately with my truth. When you feel small or insignificant, recall that the Creator of the universe calls you his beloved child. When fear of the future assails you, declare that you are victorious and your future is secure in my hands. Living from this identity will change everything. It will change how you carry yourself, the decisions you make, the relationships you nurture. You'll stop acting like a beggar, waiting for crumbs of approval and love from others, and start living like the royalty you are, overflowing with the love and acceptance you already possess in me. This is the freedom I've called you to, and it's from this secure identity that your true purpose will blossom in ways you never imagined. My blessed soul, now that you're healing the wound of abandonment and settling into your true identity, I want to share something powerful about the times you felt most alone. Those moments weren't wasted. That solitude wasn't in vain. It was, in fact, the forge where I shaped some of your most precious qualities and prepared you for your deepest purpose. In the desert of loneliness, you learned to survive. You discovered a strength you didn't know you had. You developed a resilience that made you capable of facing storms that would have brought many others down. This strength isn't just for you. It has made you a pillar, a rock for your family and those around you. People look at you, and even without knowing all your struggles, they sense your steadfastness and are inspired by it. In the silence of solitude, you learn to know yourself better. Without the world's distractions and constant voices, you were forced to look inward, to confront your fears, hopes, and dreams. You developed a depth of character and wisdom that can't be learned from books. This wisdom makes you a valuable counselor, someone able to offer a calm, thoughtful perspective amidst chaos. Most importantly, in the pain of feeling abandoned, you developed immense empathy. You know firsthand the suffering of loneliness, rejection, and uncertainty. This experience, though painful, opened your heart in a unique way. Now, you can look at someone else who is hurting and not just feel pity, but feel with them. You can offer genuine comfort, an understanding that says, I know what it's like, and you're not alone. This empathy is your superpower. It's the most effective tool I've given you to fulfill your purpose in this season of your life. I will place people in your path who are going through the exact same pains you've already overcome. They won't need sermons or ready-made solutions. They'll need your embrace, your listening ear, your quiet testimony that it's possible to survive and thrive. Your story of overcoming will become a beacon of hope for them. By sharing how I sustained you, how I never truly abandoned you, you'll be planting seeds of faith in their hearts. You will become the answer to someone's prayer. Share this video with 2 loved ones who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. Even something simple like, Lord, may your light reach all who need you, can create a wave of positive energy and intercession. Don't underestimate small beginnings. Your ministry of love might start with a call to a friend going through a tough time. Could be a conversation with a family member who feels lost. It might be a word of encouragement to a stranger. I've turned the poison the enemy tried to use against you into an antidote you can now use to heal others. What was meant to destroy you, I've turned around to build up not just your life, but the lives of many. See how perfect my plan is? No suffering in my hands is wasted. Everything is redeemed. Everything is transformed into glory. The loneliness that once was your prison now becomes the key that unlocks the hearts of others. The abandonment you felt now qualifies you to be the presence that reminds others they are never truly alone. Because I am with them, just as I've always been with you. Embrace this calling. See your scars not as marks of shame, but as badges of honor, proof of the battles you've won through my power. You are ready to step into this new level of purpose, using everything you are and everything you've experienced for my glory. And I promise that as you do this, you'll find a deeper joy and fulfillment than you've ever known. My precious soul, now that you understand my constant presence, the healing of your wounds, your true identity, and the purpose born from your struggles, it's time to look ahead. It's time to learn to walk each day without fear of abandonment, living fully in the freedom and security of my love. The future doesn't have to be a place of anxiety and uncertainty. It can be an adventure of faith and discovery, lived in partnership with me. What does this look like in practice? It starts with your first decision each morning, the decision to trust. Before your feet hit the floor, before your mind starts listing the day's worries, give me your day. Simply say, Father, this day is yours. Guide my steps, my words, my decisions. I trust you to sustain me, protect me, and provide everything I need. This simple act of surrender changes the atmosphere of your day. You're no longer in control, trying to manage everything on your own. You're cooperating with the owner of the universe, who already knows the end from the beginning. Throughout the day, when challenges arise or decisions need to be made, your first reaction won't be panic or worry anymore. It will be a pause, a deep breath, a quick chat with me. Father, what do we do now? Show me the way. You'll learn to hear my guidance in the peace that settles in your heart, in the wisdom that seems to come out of nowhere, in circumstances that align favorably. I promise to give you the discernment you need for every situation. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to know the one who does. Living without fear of abandonment also means being bold. Fear kept you in a box for too long, afraid to try new things, to dream big, to take risks. But now you know I'm with you. If I call you to take a step of faith, whether it's starting a new project, mending a relationship, or learning a new skill, you can go with confidence. If you succeed, I'll be there to celebrate with you. If you stumble, I'll be there to pick you up. There's no real failure when you walk with me, only learning and growth. Release the dreams you've locked away in your heart out of fear of not being capable. I am your capability. Release the desire to serve and make a difference. I am your strength. Fear of abandonment also affects relationships. It can make you cling too tightly to people for fear of losing them, or close yourself off to avoid getting hurt. Security in my unconditional love frees you to love others in a healthy way. You can love generously, without the desperate need for them to fill your emptiness, because your emptiness is already filled by me. You can set healthy boundaries. Knowing your worth doesn't depend on their approval. You become a channel of my love, instead of a needy well waiting to be filled. This is true spiritual maturity. And if for some reason, the old feeling of loneliness tries to return one day, don't despair. Don't think you've regressed. Just acknowledge the feeling, but don't accept it as truth. Tell it, I know what you are. You're a memory, an echo from the past. But my truth today is that God never abandons me. Then, start practicing what you've learned. Give thanks for the small blessings of your day. Recall the evidence of my care in your life. Read the promise I gave you. Put on some worship music. Within minutes, the cloud of doubt will scatter before the light of my truth. You are being equipped to live in a new way, a light, confident, and peaceful way. It's not something you'll achieve overnight, but a daily practice of walking with me. And with every step you take in faith, you'll grow stronger. My presence will become clearer, until the doubt of abandonment becomes a distant memory, a story you'll tell to glorify my name and encourage others to trust in the Father who will never, ever leave them. My beloved soul, we've reached the end of our talk, but this moment marks the start of a new covenant of trust between us. It's a definitive turning point in your life, the moment you consciously choose to leave behind the identity of someone abandoned and fully embrace your reality as my eternally accompanied and loved child. Let's seal everything I've shown you in your heart. I came to break the silence and assure you of my constant presence. I explained that my apparent silence was, in truth, a time of preparation and strengthening. I opened your eyes to the countless signs of my detailed care throughout your story. I guided you to heal the root of abandonment through forgiving others and yourself. I reaffirmed your true identity as my beloved, chosen, and victorious child. I showed how your pain was transformed into a powerful purpose to bless others. And I gave you the keys to walk into a future without fear, grounded in daily trust in me. For my part, I reaffirm the most solemn promise I can make. It's the same one I made to so many of my sons and daughters throughout history. And I extend it to you today, personally and uniquely. I will never leave you nor forsake you. This isn't a poetic phrase. It's a covenant. It's my word, which upholds the heavens and the earth, pledged on your behalf. Wherever you go, I will go. Whatever situation you face, I will face it with you. In your joy, I will rejoice. In your need, I will be your help. There's no place you can go that escapes my presence. There's no depth you can fall to that my hand cannot reach. This promise is your anchor. When the winds of life blow strong, when the waves of circumstances rise, hold firmly to this truth. It will keep you safe. It will keep you steady. Your part, my beloved child, is to choose to believe. It's to build your life on this rock. It's to allow this truth to become the filter through which you interpret everything that happens to you. Instead of asking, "Where is God?" you will declare, "God is right here with me, and together we will get through this." I want you to leave this time we've shared with a peace that goes beyond all understanding. The peace of knowing you no longer have to struggle on your own. The peace of knowing you are cared for by the most loving and powerful Father there is. The peace of knowing your past is forgiven, your present is secure, and your future is bright in my hands. Walk with the dignity of a king's daughter. Speak with the authority of someone who knows they are heard. Love with the generosity of someone who knows they are endlessly loved. Live with the courage of someone who knows they are never alone. The story of abandonment is over. A new story begins today, titled, "Accompanied by the King." Every page will be filled with fresh adventures of faith, new proof of my faithfulness, and fresh displays of my power in your life. I am with you. I always have been. I always will be. Until the end of time. Go in peace, my daughter, live in the joy of this truth, and be the light that reminds the world that I am the God who never leaves his own. If this message resonated with you and your situation, type "I am guided by God's love and wisdom" in the comments. Share your experiences below. If you liked this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel for more faith-based content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.